Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I thought I'd take a look at the latest Blu-ray release. This one is of Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. It has been out on HBO Max, so it's not really new in the sense that this is a new version, but it's new for the home video format. I do not subscribe to HBO Max. When I heard this was being released, I really wanted to watch it, but financially wise, I don't know about the rest of you, but I can't afford to subscribe to each and every streaming channel that has content that I want to watch because of one program or one movie. And HBO Max was one of those cases. I just couldn't justify a subscription so I could watch this. So I was doing without, and I was very surprised when this was released. I was interested in it since watching the original. My understanding is that director Zack Snyder had to leave the production. Unfortunately, his daughter had passed away, and Warner Brothers had to bring in Josh Whedon to finish up the Justice League film. It didn't do as well as Warner Brothers had hoped at the box office. I think it left some fans a little divided on how they thought Justice League was going to be. I think DC and Warner Brothers were hoping for a Marvel Avengers type of success, because let's face it, they have the Justice League, Marvel has the Avengers. Justice League came first even, so but it didn't perform up to expectations. Now, there was a big fan push for Zack Snyder to be allowed to release his cut, his version of Justice League. And Warner Brothers finally relented and let him do it. Now, I'm not sure of all the ins and outs of how that was done, but it was done. And this is the version. As you can see, the cover even indicates that it's much darker film. And forgive me if I end up going into spoiler territory. I may do that. So if you haven't seen this yet, maybe wait until you watch it, or just turn me off and go watch something else, because I can't guarantee I'm not going to hit spoilers. Right here, we have Superman in his black costume, black and silver costume that he wore after the death and return of Superman storyline, and I thought that was really cool. Here's the front, here's the spine, and here's the back. And as you will notice, this version is rated R, and it's also very long, 242 minutes. That's 4 hours. 4 hours. It is more of a mini-series set, like a mini-series set of movies on a TV than an actual movie. In fact, when you watch it, it's broken up into chapters, and then when you open this, you will see there are 2 discs. One is not a bonus disc full of special features. Both of these discs is the show. There's only one special feature on there. That's it. The rest of it is all content of what Zack Snyder made. I am probably one of the few that liked the first one. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was more lighthearted. It was PG-13, more family-oriented, I guess. Again, they were kind of going for the Avengers-esque type of movie to try and cash in on superhero film successes that Marvel's had. As you can see here, they let Zack Snyder do his version. It's darker. Steppenwolf is still the main antagonist in the movie, but we get to see Darkseid's involvement. We never saw him in the original cut, but Darkseid is involved in this one. Not as big as you might think. I kind of wished he'd had more screen time and battles with our Justice League members, but he still is in there, and his role does make sense given what's shown. Just be prepared to sit for a while or to break it up. In the extra features, Zack said that he was pleased to be able to have no time constraints, so he could show what he wanted to show. And this is long. Sitting through it is that it's long, but you know what? I did manage to sit through it. It keeps your attention. It should have been what Justice League was all along. This is the way I believe it should have been. Maybe not as long, because let's face it, no movie theater is going to carry a 4-hour-long movie, at least not in the 21st century. They want you to come in, watch your movies, and get out so they can get the next audience in to watch the movie. The days of epic films where you could watch a 4-hour-long movie in the theater, I think, are long gone. But I can see why this plays well on HBO Max. I heard that they had divided it up into episodes. I don't know if that's not true. If that's true or not. Anyone who has HBO Max, maybe they can clarify that for me. Was this broken into episodes? And if so, how long were the episodes? Was it an hour each, or cut into 2 films, or what? I honestly don't know. I like that in this version, the heroes had more to do. We got to have more of Cyborg, more of the Flash, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Batman seemed to have not quite as much to do as the rest. His screen time seemed to be about the same as the original film. There was a lot of footage in Zack Snyder's version that I did not recognize from the first one. Even some of the scenes that were the same that were included were either from a different perspective or had additional dialogue, or they changed the dialogue completely, altering the way the scene was meant to be seen, I guess. I enjoyed it a lot. It is darker. It's not so family friendly. If I were showing it to a young child, I would definitely show them the first version, the original version. It's shorter. A child is not going to have the attention span to sit through this, and it's a little too dark and violent for a young child. I would hold off till that child was older before I showed them this. Now, for comparison's sake, let's take a look at the original. This is the Steelbook version of the original. I got this when it first came out. I don't remember where I got it. Steelbooks seem to be hard to find lately. You almost have to buy the 4K version to get a Steelbook nowadays. But anyway, the artwork on this is great, done by Jim Lee. Just your typical Steelbook, black and white art on the back. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. As you can tell, even by the covers, the original one is shown to be much more colorful and comic-like in tone, where Zack's is darker. The other thing you should know is the aspect ratio, the way the film is portrayed on screen. Justice League was very much a widescreen movie. This one, however, is the 4:3 television format. There's a disclaimer at the beginning that says that this 4:3 format was what the director intended, and to preserve his integrity, they are showing it in the format that he wanted. And I will tell you, at first I was a little wary of it because I was like, oh, 4:3, yeah, I know it showed on HBO Max and probably considered a television show, but it's not a television show, it's still a movie. A lot of us now, I think, have widescreen TVs. Those are the norm. So why not? Why not widescreen it? But I'll tell you this: after watching it, I began to not even notice that it was a 4:3 presentation, and noticed that Zack had framed each scene, each shot outstandingly well in the 4:3 format. Everything was honestly, it was framed perfectly. He did a fantastic job. So, which version should you get? My feeling is both. If you want the short, concise version, the lighter, more comic book feel to it, probably the first version. But if you want a more accurate version of what Justice League could have been at the theaters if there had been no time constraints and the director could do what he really wanted to do with the Justice League, then this is your choice. But this one is more for an adult audience, an adult superhero audience. This is really not like a Marvel movie. This is much darker. But I enjoyed both. You can still get both. Maybe you hate the first one. I certainly know those who do. I'd be interested. Does anybody prefer Zack's release, his version, or do they like the first version better? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. For me, I was surprised at how fast the time went by. A movie that's 4 hours long that takes up 2 Blu-ray discs was a surprise to me that it could keep my attention, but it was. I was watching it with great intent. The only disappointment with it is that there is only one special feature done by Zack Snyder, and honestly, it's more of a fluff piece. It mostly shows clips from his other DC movies that he made first. He doesn't really go into the ins and outs of how this got made and how he did it and what the differences were and why he chose to change things that were altered in the original theatrical version. It would have been interesting to hear some of his insights as to what happened and why his version turned out the way it did. I wish he had discussed that more, but he didn't. And if you're looking for special features, you're going to be disappointed because that's it, and that's all there is. There is no making ofs or director's commentary or anything like that. So keep that in mind before you buy this. If you've already watched this on HBO Max, you already know if you like it or not. If you've never watched it on HBO Max and you want to blind buy it, I would say do it. If you really hated the first one, I'm still convinced that you actually might like this one. If you like the first one, you'll definitely like this one. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I appreciate all of you watching. Thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure to be able to share my thoughts with you, and I enjoy hearing your thoughts as well. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.